Okay, my name is Scott Jorgens. I'm Director of Marketing at Endeavour Solutions, and today I'm going to be leading our presentation on the wonderful world of Power BI and why you should adopt it now. Our agenda today, as per the original invite, help you learn more about Power BI. We're going to talk about pricing, an overview, demo, and then how it aligns to various ERP and CRMs that Endeavour supports. And wrapping up, of course, with how to get started with your own Power BI project. For those that are new to Endeavour or watching this presentation, and those that have been with us for 15, 20 years or more, we're now in our 30th year working with Microsoft Dynamics, GP, CRM, and Cloud. We've also added on Dynamics 365 Business Central and NAV through some new consultants that have joined our team in the last year or so. 3 lines of business: advisory services, implementations, and ongoing support and optimization. As always, for those on Dynamics GP, it has a current strong roadmap going ahead. It is not going away. It is not being discontinued. It is not being grandfathered. GP is here to stay and has a long and brightful future. Those that are on Dynamics CRM on-premise and those that are using GP on-premise, we recommend you surround your applications with some of the newer cloud applications, Office 365, online versions of Dynamics 365 for CRM, budgeting, reporting, and BI up in the cloud, and be able to leverage many of those tools. For those that are embarking on Dynamics 365 Business Central or looking to move to a cloud-based ERP, then these systems are still in the cloud, just integrated cloud to cloud. Some of them are embedded. You can visit our team online to learn more about Endeavour. We have 2 core websites, a CRM website, endeavour365.ca, and our ERP core website at endeavorsolutions.ca. Feel free to visit us online, learn more. So before I get into Microsoft Power BI, I did want to take a moment to talk about reporting as a whole. They can coexist. It does coexist. There are ERP centralized reporting within your CRM and ERP. This is your strong systems that have the data capture, handle your transactions, do processing, do workflow. Overlapping and complementing that, if you look on the left, CPM, Corporate Performance Management. Management Reporter is considered a CPM tool. It does your financial reports, it does budgeting, it does forecasting. There's also advanced tools, Profix, Vena, BI 360, others in the market. And you can see there's an overlap with those and BI. The core to business intelligence is really around key performance indicators and a level of predictability, looking at data sets and trying to understand trends to predict and help you make bigger, better, faster decisions. If you think of dashboards and a dashboard of showing some key welcoming data, you're really into that middle section where there's an overlap between the 3 different areas for reporting. So just keep that in mind. So, introduction to Power BI. This is why we're here today. Over on the top right, I have 4 sections. These are the key sections that are in the Microsoft roadmap for Power BI. This is how they are capturing and how they view the future of Power BI. The first one being self-service analytics for everyone. This is aligning to what has been called over the last few years of developing a data culture, a culture within an organization where reporting and database analytics, database decisions, making decisions based on information and data from information that's captured throughout your organization, having that access outside of the Office of Finance, procurement, HR, sales, operations. Every department should be able to have access to pertinent details, KPIs, balanced scorecards, you name it, within their organization. Power BI, from Microsoft's perspective, wants to become a unified platform for enterprise business intelligence. It's also working with the SQL Server and the SQL SSRS reports and the Azure and the data services with their data lake and looking at big data and predictive. And then Microsoft has been investing a lot of time and effort and money into their artificial intelligence, predictive analytics, automatic insights, and we're seeing that pushed into Dynamics 365, and it's also within Power BI. If we look at a recent Gartner report, February 2019, Microsoft is head and shoulders above the others. Second place you can see is Tableau. Tableau is recently being acquired by Salesforce.com in support of their CRM and associated ERP type applications that they're trying to pull together. Again, if you look on the left, the data culture, Power BI is very strong in trying to put in the hands of every user across the organization ability to make data-based and informed decisions. It's open and scalable, a variety of connections. It has a huge community and Power BI user group that you can find globally as well as in Canada and parts of the US. And it has all the competitive functions that you would expect in an analysis tool. Open language, access to AI and Internet of Things. There's mobile apps as well as browser. So the browser app can be shrunken down for tablets and other sizes, but there's also a dedicated application for smartphones. So we've covered a lot. It has been a lot. It does a lot. What's the elevator pitch? If you have to explain it to your peers, I think the easiest way to explain Power BI is it's a strong front end for the deployment of dashboards and KPIs to end users. The deployment aspect is so slick, so easy, and so powerful. It really becomes a core part of Power BI. It's allowing you to embed these analytics and reports across your organization. And of course, continuing on with the explanation, self-serve analytics. Connects to a variety of data sources, large community and training. Those three things together really is Power BI in a nutshell. If you want to add a step further, browser mobile apps, it's embedded in many of the Microsoft products, part of Office 365, part of Teams, it's in Dynamics 365. The Pro version, $10 US, $12.80 Canadian, and if you purchase through Endeavour, we'll round that down to $12 per user per month. Note here the Pro version is needed to share or receive shared dashboards and reports that you create for your organization. So pricing. Sometimes I try to leave pricing to the end of our presentations, but everyone wants to know what does it cost, and there's so many different pieces. What are we looking at? There is a free version. The free version is for individual use. It may be embedded within Dynamics 365. It may be embedded in other applications. When it's embedded and when it's free, it's just you get the canned reports that are part of that application, and it's for individual user analysis. If you as an organization, you as a finance team want to create and curate reports and analytics and KPIs unique to your organization, and you want to push that out to a variety of different user groups, everyone who's receiving that or sending it needs to have the Pro subscription. There is a premium version of Power BI. The premium is priced on a per server, unlimited number of users. So basically, if you have more than 500 users in your organization that want to use the Pro version, you may be interested in stepping up for 500 times 12 is $6,000 a month Canadian. Plus, because now you're paying for some server speeds, some consumption, it will grow from there. Power BI mobile apps for iOS and Android, these are free. I recommend you download them. It connects to your subscriptions similar to the apps for Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook that you may also have on your Apple or Android device. There's also some cool sample data and reports when you download that app. Continuing on, Power BI Desktop. This is also a free application. It is what you and your business analysts and anyone who is creating dashboards and visualizations is going to use. You use the desktop, then you publish it up to the Power BI service, which all of your Power BI users, either basically using the Pro version, would be able to access and see. The Power BI desktop app is where you create the connections, connect to all the different data sources, and control the security. Number 6 and 7, there is a Power BI gateway. This is a secure tunnel authentication, you name it, that allows you to connect your on-premise SQL Server, maybe a Data Mart, maybe GP, maybe CRM on-premise, or other applications that are on-premise into the Power BI cloud application and service. There's also, you'll see, as a Power BI report server if you go on to the powerbi.com website. The report server, again, where Microsoft is trying to create a unified fashion across all the organization. This report server will house all of your SSRS reports as well as Power BI reports and provide a user interface that consolidates those two together. But wait, there's more. With Power BI, the default is the US data centers, but there's ability for the Canadian-only hosting and Canadian-only version of your data. The setup is tied to the domain controllers that you use if you have any of the Office 365 products, Azure Active Directory, other Azure services. It will default to those locations. If you have Microsoft Dynamics 365, CRM or ERP in the cloud, and it's hosted in Canada, then by default, Power BI will follow suit. Power BI is great at staging and joining data from multiple sources. So it could be from your data mart, but it can also pull in information from multiple data sources, cloud applications, you name it. And so what's really nice is by using the Power BI dashboard, your users could be looking at information where the source system was GP or a different enterprise application. The source system could be part of your CRM. The source system could be web analytics. Source system could be another application, maybe in your distribution or transportation systems. So if we look at some very busy dashboards, what you see here, a number of dials, a number of pie charts. These used to be sort of executive only, and the effort is to push this throughout the organization, have some visibility, have information that makes sense to them. We can have simple layouts where there's a lot of white space and just a few key analytics, or you can move into further aspects. This example here was looking at a beautiful heat map comparing weather patterns to the maintenance schedule on buses and how they moved back and forth, and those were some key predictive analytics. Talking about visualizations, there's within the Microsoft App Store for Power BI over 200 different add-ons. Many are free, some are freemium, which means you start free, but there's encouragements to have additional purchases for extras. So you can see here up on the screen, sunbursts, tornado charts, extra infographics, extra designers, and these can all be put together. As you see on the circle, you can filter them by analytics, filters, gadgets, infographics, etc. And then when it comes to connectivity, so connecting Power BI using the Power BI desktop application, you can connect to SQL Server databases, and that's going to be used for GP, Access databases, SQL Server analysis services, so SSAS. So if you create SQL views within SQL Server, you can have a subset of information. as you can see here, and scrolling is about halfway through. A lot in SAP, the Microsoft's done a partnership with them to access to all their applications. Through Azure, so anything sitting up on Azure, if you're hosting on Azure, then obviously those databases are on Azure. You need to access to those databases there. We can also, and some clients of Endeavour's have chosen to, rather than connecting to their on-premise Microsoft Dynamics GP and SQL Server database, they do a SQL view from their on-premise database and push that SQL view up into Azure. And then they use Power BI to connect to the secure Azure piece. And that was an extra comfort level for those clients. Dynamics 365 Online Common Data Service. So the Common Data Service is unified across Power Apps, Dynamics 365 CRM, Dynamics 365 Business Central, and a variety of other tools. You can see that there's Salesforce objects that can be connected to and information across many of the web apps, MailChimp and marketing type applications out there. You name it, just about everything has an API in connection into these various cloud services. Also, if we think back to that overlap with CPM, I'm told that many of the major tool sets for budgeting and forecasting and corporate performance management are also planning to expose their services and their cloud-based databases to Power BI for additional centralization, consolidation, and exposing their data out to Power BI reports to your broader user community. Power BI Desktop. So I've mentioned that. Here's some of the things that the Power BI Desktop looks like. It's used to build, edit, and publish. Along the top row here, you can see, get data, deal with queries, build in different questions, and on the top right, there's that nice publish button. You can create a variety of visualizations. These are default visualizations. If you get into the add-ons, there's additional add-on visualizations that improve some of the message and storytelling that you're looking to accomplish. All the key fields within your databases, and at the bottom, basically it looks like tabs similar to what you'd find in an Excel, and each tab is a different set of reports and dashboards as you move across. What the example we have here for a Power BI sales module V2, and we also have a V3, is some internal development and sales that we've been building internally to showcase to clients. And for those on the line, if you do want to respond to your webinar invite, we can share a copy of our V3 one with you. So, Power BI and Microsoft Dynamics. Let's get into a demo. There's a variety of free samples that are available when you sign into Power BI and through Microsoft under the Get Data in the bottom left corner of the screen, and you can choose, I want to have some samples. There's a variety of sample reports. I'm going to show you some of these samples now, and then we'll also look at the Endeavour version of that. There are a content pack for GP 2018. It's been taken off of the website from Microsoft. We can still share that file with you and that demo pack, as I mentioned. So let's look at the live demo. I'm just going to pull over my browser. I believe we can all see it. Okay. So what we're looking at here is an opportunity dashboard sample from Microsoft. This is the main Power BI interface. We have a variety of filters, and you're consuming and looking at different data, different stories that you either want to create yourself and pin individual pieces to your own dashboards, or is provided to you from someone in your team or in your organization, and then you can drill down, drill through, and look at different components. What we see here are the source of different opportunities. We have an opportunity count, we have a revenue count, we can click on individuals, And most of the components are interactive. So by clicking on the central, now I'm just seeing central with mouse overs for each of these. So I can see the partner-driven leads for central organization highlighted in different counts. Our revenue analysis, I really liked this one here, looking at central, east, and west. And then our upcoming opportunities for this sample and this organization. Let's look at May only. And now we've filtered everything there. How does our pipeline look for May? Proposals that resulted in a yes, proposals that resulted in a no. Lead, qualify, solution. These were their 4 sales stages for this organization looking ahead. So information like this is valuable to your sales executive, your sales leader, as well as the individual sales team members. And again, because we have the flexibility of having different tiles, some information could be pulling from your ERP system, some information could be pulling from your CRM system, and we combine with other systems. Let's look at one for sales and marketing sample. So here's a year-to-date category trend analysis. We have this specific manufacturer, and it's split up into different regions. I can click on it, and our East region for this manufacturer, what does our sales look like? The sentiment, East, and West will obviously change the map to what they consider to be the West, and looking at how the manufacturing sales for this specific manufacturer. In this case, it's a distributor client and growth opportunities. I like these by the segment. If we look at specific segments, we can have the different graphs. At different points, you can click on Show Data. And when you have Show Data, you're providing the information that is underneath the visualization, which most instances turns out to be similar to a pivot table. And depending on the design, you may have additional details and additional information that is pulled for those that want to take a deeper dive into the data. Next, I want to look at a customer profitability sample. And so the point here is I want to show different areas of inspiration across that you can have. This is, we have gross margin for the sales team and our sales team all stacked over together. If I want to just look at, say, Carlos, here's a variance of a month by month of their budget. And I want to click look at individual margins. I can look at different things. Let's see, our second highest revenue product is number PU-0, revenue of 22 million. If I click on that, then I'm also seeing that the revenue by product, PU-0, is within our Gladius product line. And I'm looking at where gross margin is coming from, the size. So we're selling a lot to federal, we're selling utilities, and we can see we actually have a very low margin within our high-tech sector for this specific product. Who is selling this product? Well, it looks like Carlos just started selling this product in April. There's no data prior to that. And you're able to get a lot of details through this. Variety of filters, so I want to look just at the high tech. And so I've combined high tech together with Carlos that I'm looking at, and this is why it's been a low margin. It looks like he sold some at a loss back in August. Moving along, customer, let's look at HR. So human resources sample. This is again, part of the sample dashboards and reports. From an HR perspective, here's the new hires for this organization. We can see this is a fairly large organization when they have a new hire count of over 2,000 people. I assume it's probably retail at this size. Male versus female, and these could be ongoing dashboards by the day, by the month, by the year, depending on how you want to slice and dice it. Bad hires, it's kind of funny. Just looking at those that left in less than 60 days, and again, this is the sample data and how they've stacked different graphs together by age, by different trends, and by ethnicity, and different groups across those areas. So let's move over to our sales module V3 short. This is all pulling off of the Microsoft Dynamics GP Fabricam database. The current Fabricam database within GP 2018 R2 now has updated sample data, and everything is in 2025, 2026, and 2027. So what we see here, we can sort by lifetime rank sales. Sandra has been our number 1, Nancy number 2. We look at the current year. We got Aaron as number 3. And if we click here, it will update the top tile is just Aaron, and we can see the red that she's in Central Canada. We can also look at different individuals. So this is a comparative customer. Who are our customers? Top 5 customers for the current year are shown here. 1, 2, 3, 4, stacked in order. Let's look at Plaza One. Looks like they were definitely a top customer in a previous year. Within this demo that we've created, rather than clicking on individual bar charts for going deeper, we have a suggestion that you may want to click here to look at customers by product. Within here, we can have a long list of customers by product, and this is pulling from Fabricam. Many of you will recognize Aaron Fitz. We can slice straight to an individual customer. So let's look at that Plaza One. We click on that, it will instantly filter for everyone, all the other components. We can see for Plaza One, what is their lifetime to date sales, their current sales for this current period, and the prior year, who is the sales rep, and different information. We can also look at customer comparative, and then we're really just drilling down from left to right on these bottom tabs, and we can find different line details for each of them, looking at the individual products and customers. So let's look at Plaza One, click, and that instantly filters the one on the right, and we can again sort. So our current year, what are they looking at for their sales, current year versus previous year, and we can combine those two together and gain the insights that we want. So with that in mind, let's look back into PowerPoint and talk about the bigger picture. What are the common data sources that those that are using Dynamics ERP and CRM are going to be looking at? Excel. Excel is a great one for modifying small things. When we looked at one of those sales rep reports, it had actual versus forecast, or actual versus their quota. The individual sales rep quota, if you have 10 sales reps, you probably have 10 quotas. That is easy to maintain just in an Excel sheet. So that Excel sheet can be a data point, and that allows us to have a simple visualization that compares actual to quota. And then we're pulling in the real-time data, either the real sales from in ERP or the closed opportunities that you would find within your CRM. We can maybe pulling that from the SQL Server on-premise or on Azure or wherever you have it, or from a common data service if you're using the CRM Online version. As I mentioned, in Azure, there's also a variety of apps and services. We may be pulling different information from different systems that are available, other cloud applications, and then other content packs. And these content packs or shared data sets are actually all saved as a .PBIX file for those that want to know. And those are the ones that get published out to your team. You can publish individual charts, or it may be just the data sets, and they move across from there. So those on Dynamics GP. Next, we'll talk about CRM on-premise, then followed by the online versions of Dynamics 365. For those that are on Dynamics GP, there's 4 options and ways to connect to Power BI. We recommend using Power BI within that Power BI browser interface that we looked at. Can be embedded within Dynamics 365, and I'll get into that at point 3 in their intelligent cloud. Technically, Power BI can work within the Dynamics GP rich client in your home screen, but you only get one graph at a time, so you're not really getting that nice visualization of multiple dials and insights at the same time. So, Direct Connect, OData, there's a version 1, version 2, version 3. The current one is OData version 4. It's been updated with GP 2018 R2. It works faster and better. Definitely encourage everyone to continue with their upgrade path to gain access to that OData. If you connect through OData, it uses your Dynamics GP user security to control what they get to see within Power BI. So it's a nice way to unify that management of user security. You can also, as an alternate, do a direct connect to the SQL Server and SSAS on-premise, and that's through the Power BI gateway. And you'll be using your security through your Power BI setup, through the Power BI gateway, as well as through your Active Directory. And the Power BI gateway talks to your Active Directory. If you have that up in Azure and Office 365, then it all becomes seamless together. So if you have an employee who departs the organization, you suspend their Office 365 account and the Active Directory, and everything flows through and controls the Power BI access as well. There are a variety of free and paid report templates. You're looking at somewhere between $1 to $15,000, and then you're getting into your customizations of your time to modify and pin and change what you want, or you can work with Endeavour, and we can help build some of those SQL Server views that you may need to access specific information within GP. Next, number 2 on the list, you can connect Power BI to a data mart, and this is basically extracting into a staging area. This can help with performance, especially if you have large data sets. Otherwise, you're looking into some of those Azure components, and maybe we can work with you on the best balance between what should be moved into the base Power BI service and it calls back and forth to GP when you're on-premise, or what should be moved into a data mart. Again, the data mart can be in the cloud or it can be on-premise, and as I mentioned, other CPM tools who are also overlapping with building their own data marts and cubes and slicing and dicing are looking to expose theirs to Power BI through their unique APIs. Fourth, Power BI in the intelligent cloud. I understand from some of our clients using GP that there's advertisements coming across your current GP desktop encouraging you to upgrade and move to Dynamics 365 Business Central and use the intelligent cloud. Yes, that is all capable, and there's things you can do for that. The nice thing about taking that approach, you do have to purchase a Dynamics 365 Business Central user. We believe you can use just one user, which would be $52. For those that are current on enhancement, there's discounts, etc. Otherwise, you're purchasing at full retail, which is $89 now for a Business Central user. And you're using that user interface and the pre-built reports that they have for Business Central, but it's synchronizing data in from GP into the Business Central and the Common Data Service to allow you to use these pre-created Power BI reports. If you want to have just your own reports and your own metrics and your own KPIs, I think option 1 and option 2 are probably going to be better for you. For clients that down the road, 1, 2, 5, 10 years down the road, want to move from GP to Business Central, This same approach for the intelligent cloud may come in handy when you want to look at historical data that's in GP a few years from now and be able to pull those pieces together. So it makes perfect sense that this is in place. Just right now, unless you're looking to move and have a transition, probably not your starting point. Power BI via Endeavour's GP Bistro. So we built this 2 years ago and commercialized it over the last year and a half. This pulls out key information from GP and stores that data from GP inside of Dynamics 365 CRM online, and then uses Power BI to report against the common data model and common data service for some key reports on sales and accounts receivable. Does require you to obviously have a CRM subscription. We do have clients that have both CRM and ERP through Endeavour on Microsoft Dynamics, and it's nice to join those pieces together. Those who want to see more about the GP content pack, we have screenshots on our business intelligence page. So if you go to endeavorsolutions.ca, click on our services and scroll down to business intelligence, we have a variety of the screenshots there that are part of that GP content pack that came out a few years ago or last year. Here's another example of a GP report. This was actually a paid report, so you have to purchase this report, but then you get instantly the report and it connects to GP and has all the mapping pre-done, and you can have a variety of reports such as this, and you can work with Endeavour on gaining access to them. And what we have here is a quick screenshot of the sales V3 that we have. This is pulling from Fabricam. If we plop it into your database, most of it will work, but with the exception of any additional customizations and modifications that you have. Oh, nope, sorry, this was actually a screenshot of sales and marketing sample. Here it is. Here's a screenshot of our V2 and V3. And as I mentioned before, there's multiple tabs pulling in from different areas, and this is all pulling from Fabricam already pre-mapped through OData to Microsoft Dynamics GP. And as you can see, this was drilling down all the way down to the line item details. So for those on the line that are using Microsoft Dynamics CRM on-premise, 3 key ways to connect. Again, the direct connections through OData or the Power BI gateway. You can connect to a data mart, which would be having Endeavour or someone else on your team creating some of the SQL views or using SSRS and saving those in a way that's putting into a staging area and then connecting to Power BI. And then again, there's Power Apps. So Power Apps is the new way of building screens and applications within Dynamics 365 online for CRM online as well as Business Central online. When you build these screens, it creates an instance and saves that within the common data service, which we can then access through with Power BI. So it's a neat way for those that are on premise and you're potentially building screens and apps that you will use in the future from when you migrate from the CRM on-premise to CRM online. It's a nice bridging. For those that are using Dynamics 365 online for CRM, for sales, for customer service, there is that free version that comes with Dynamics 365. It has a variety of canned visualizations embedded into the core dashboard and once in a while on individual screens. Starts leveraging some of the predictive analytics that Microsoft is bringing to the CRM. However, if you want to have your own version of those metrics, your own KPIs, then every user needs to have a pro license. And then, so again, to send or to receive shared reports, each user needs to have a pro license, which is the $12 per user per month. And The nice thing, as I mentioned previously, is you can be providing real ERP data, real transactional data within your CRM, rolling that up to your CRM users. So your sales team can be looking at actual sold versus quota, and your various commissions and compensation calculations can be married together and presented in a Power BI chart and format. Power BI Pro also works with SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, and Power Applications. So data contained in those aspects and linked into Dynamics 365 online also works very well. And there's a variety of content packs available for Dynamics 365 sales, service, and field service. What we see here, this was the customer profitability sample, and we're talking about actuals versus budgets, gross margins. And this screen here is inside of our Dynamics 365 user interface. So individuals working in Dynamics 365 day in and day out will be able to see a variety of charts. And there's, as you can see in the top right, they can click on those charts and then it opens up in Power BI. So for those that are on GP or those that are on Dynamics CRM on-premise, knowing that if you moved to a cloud-based ERP or a cloud-based CRM, a lot of the times users are still going to click on that open in Power BI. And so really you have that same destination and the same analytics. It's just the user experience of whether or not they need it embedded within their day-to-day app, or they're going to click on the button anyways to move it into the other. This is a chart of the Endeavour's GP Bistro. So again, inside of Dynamics 365 CRM online, and there's a variety of credit and collections information on a per account basis, and then sales information on a per customer basis, as well as looking at individual invoice and transactional amounts from GP inside of CRM for your sales team to review. For those on Business Central or interested in Business Central, just a quick caveat, Dynamics 365 Business Central is not replacing Dynamics GP. It is based on Dynamics Nav. It's a completely different ERP system. However, it is getting the most love and attention from Microsoft's marketing, and they really see it to be their future for the mid-market. That being said, Microsoft's still receiving over $1 billion, that's $1 billion with a B, dollars a year in enhancement revenue from the 30,000 plus, 40,000 plus Dynamics GP companies across North America and the world, and GP is not going away and still has a strong roadmap. But for those interested in Business Central, there are a number of canned visualizations, a number of content packs that are available. Microsoft has been giving it more love and putting a lot of investment into having the opportunity to leverage Power BI within Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Again, similar to CRM, if you want to have your own reports and your own dashboards, every user is going to need to have the pro version, paid version, to take advantage of those. And for our Business Central clients that we have recommended they just move ahead with the pro version for the sake of control and richness of the data. Here's what Business Central screen looks like. So you see along the bottom we have some key information and trial balances as part of their day-to-day functions, and there's these canned reports up on the top, Power BI. And again, some can still click and say open in Power BI and take deeper dives and slice and dice and change some of those filters. And these are default actual versus net. There's some default AR reports, a variety of stuff that comes in default, which is of value and is useful for those that those specific metrics don't match organizations, then you have a choice to hide individual tiles from your users to reduce confusion, or again, move into the pro version to create those reports yourselves. Here's a long laundry list of the content packs that Microsoft has built for Business Central. So it is quite lovely. Great thing with Endeavour being a strong GP partner, but also being a Business Central partner, we have access to these. We can take them, we can take that knowledge, help you reverse engineer it and bring some of that love to your GP users. And ultimately, across your organization, so getting reports and analytics outside of the Office of Finance into the rest of your organization for jobs, for purchasing, vendor management, customer, and CRM. So we have 15 minutes left. I think we're right on time. Let's recap on pricing and look at next steps. So pricing again, $10 US, $12.80 Canadian. Through Endeavour, we'll discount that down to $12 per user per month. These are named users, similar to Office 365, provides single sign-on, connects nicely into Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, Dynamics 365, embedding it throughout your organization. For those that are interested in Power BI Premium, you can now be creating Power BI reports to share to an unlimited number of users outside of your organization, inside your organization, looking at big data, slicing and dicing with Internet of Things, if you have key machinery or parts around the globe that need to be all feeding in data points, and that's priced on a server basis rather than a per user basis. The free app for mobile desktop, for all your control and your Power BI gateway and Power BI report servers. So next steps. I have 3 steps here with the third being an A and a B, so we're kind of at 4 steps. Step 1, early stage review. For many of you, you are here today. Some of you may be already past this. Step 1, sign up for a free trial. Use your personal account, not your corporate account, or talk to your IT department on how to properly download and synchronize a free version within your domain. Reason why I try to say, use your personal now, it's going to be easier for you to turn it on and off. It's not going to be confusing with your exploration. There's a variety of data sets, as I mentioned. Step 2, build a plan, build a business case. The hardest thing about Power BI and business intelligence is the so what and why. Who will consume the reports? Who's going to build and curate them? What KPIs make sense? And are you prepared to have the day-long, week-long, month-long discussions on how to agree to calculate a specific KPI and key performance indicator? This is something that Endeavour can help walk you through. It's never as easy as you think. And really, at the end of the day, if we want to move business intelligence outside of the Office of Finance throughout the organization, what kind of visualizations do they need to see? What kind of data do they need to see? How can we help them make better decisions? Once you have those 2 pieces in plan, really now you're ready to look at a pilot. Work with your IT department or work with Endeavour, download it, connect it in to your corporate account. You can purchase the Pro at the $12 per month. You can still use the free, and I think there's a 60-day trial, but you want to have that associated to your individual Active Directory, Office 365. Play with it as it connects to the rest of Microsoft. Connect it to your data. If you're going to connect to OData, then obviously there's security and parameters, and so if you're using an internal sanctioned version connected to your username and login, your Active Directory and your Windows passwords, your network passwords, all those pieces together. If you tell the truth, everything works a lot nicer. If you're trying to use fake accounts, personal, and blurring those lines, the connectivity starts to degrade, and we have to jump through different hoops. And then step 3B, so sort of that step 4, look at piloting with a test group. And this is taking back to some of the initial planning that I was suggesting with step 2. How are you going to, we want to move this out to one user group. Well, how do we want to define security and user groups? Which groups should see what sort of information? Do we want to have a sales team group? Do we want to have an executive group? Do we want to have a procurement group? Do we want to have an HR group? Do we want to have an external vendor performance group? How do we want to slice and dice this? Some of the security and foundational information that you set up could save time in the future. There is flexibility within the whole system, so you can modify those as they need. Start looking at subscription requirements. And then point 5 and 6, let's look at validating your different options and support mechanisms. What kind of information is going to help people make decisions? How are we going to train them? What's the performance impacts going to be on queries against our on-premise servers, queries against our data marts, queries in the cloud, and cloud stuff back and forth, and as all those pieces move ahead. So if you get stuck, call our support team, support@endeavorsolutions.ca. We're here to help. We have our phone number, 1-800 number, you name it, on our website. Our key request is the email is going to be the best way to enter it into our internal support queue. We use Microsoft Dynamics Customer Service CRM to manage our support queue and support cases, and that email or our portal is the best way to get in. So we can provide business intelligence support. We're really talking strategy, design, helping you define KPIs, pulling in people with accounting degrees and deep knowledge of finance, deep knowledge of GP, where is the data, pull the pieces together. There's obviously the functional support. There's nothing worse than Power BI reports that don't match other reports that you have in your organization. It loses credibility. You need to make sure that stuff balances and matches your various systems, so you try to get closer to having one version of the truth. If you don't have one version of the truth, we're here to help. It may be a calculation issue, it may be a definition, it may be data corruption, and maybe you got dirty data, maybe you're using the same department segments across 2 different areas and you need to fix your chart of accounts. There's a variety of aspects where Endeavour can help both on the design side as well as just from a functional, where is my data and how do I capture it. Technical services for ongoing performance tuning, connectivity, all of the Office 365 and Azure. Endeavour is actually gold certified for Azure and Office 365 and all the cloud components. So we are here to help for those that need that assistance. You can also reach out to Trish, James, and Steve on a pre-sales aspect if you want to inquire about future projects, future efforts, different demos, deeper dives, or ask for favors and find your way over to myself for our free Power BI sample that we can send to you. So 7 minutes left to the day. Let's wrap this up. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.